Revelation chapter 2, verse 15, John Gill's exposition of the entire Bible, verse by verse. Brought to you by Discovering the Scriptures, being read by Dr. Peter John. Quote, "So hast thou also them that hold the doctrine of the Nicolaitans. These impure heretics sprung up in the time of the Apostolic Church, but their doctrines were not received, and their deeds were hated." See Revelation 2, verse 6. This seems to design the doctrines of the Church of Rome, which in this period took place, which forbid marriage to the priests, and recommended celibacy and virginity to others also, which were the source of all uncleanness and abominable lust, for which pardons and indulgences were given, and in process of time brothel houses were set up and licensed and encouraged by authority. Which thing I hate, the doctrine of these men, as well as their deeds." Unquote. Footnote from the reader. I need to let you know this, because I know this because I've studied it. Pardons and indulgences from the Roman Catholic Church were invented by the popes during their time to help pay the great debt that they incurred when they had people like Michelangelo and other great artists come in and paint murals on the wall and sculpture David and things like that for them. So in order to pay for all their art and artists, they came up with these things of, we'll give you pardons and indulgences, which you can buy in advance or afterwards by paying money, and we'll grant you the forgiveness of your sin. This way you can go ahead and buy your pardon or your indulgence, and then go ahead and sin, because you know you're going to be forgiven because you paid the money to the Church of Rome. If that isn't so pagan and against Scripture, I don't know what is. But that's something which they did then, and even today, they're still teaching things like forbidden priests to marry, which is now in this century, in the last century, has brought to light how many thousands of Roman priests are taking advantage of the boys and having such unclean and abominable sex acts with them that it's all over the news. And it's just repulsive. They stopped him from marrying in the 1400s to present date, and that was never intended in Scriptures. So pardons, indulgences, praying to saints, forbidding to marry to the priest, for the priest, and all that kind of garbage is just something that's not from the Bible, and it is definitely pagan, and it's something that the Roman Catholic Church promoted, promotes, and still cast this kind of sins onto their followers and for the world to see. So, of course, this is why God hates this. End of the footnote.